leaving the old life behind, giving the new one a try, making the past as we go, trying a new way to grow, finding a new way to define the way our life is in this time, changing familiar thoughts as we go, shaping the world that we show. So many.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Stone House. This is our second welcome because the first time, what did Daddy forget?
To turn on the recording.
I'm going to show you some closet stuff here. I've got the closets basically done. We're just going to wait on painting until the very end just to make sure that that's what we want to do or don't want to do. But the closets are done. And now, next, we're going to work on
My bookshelf.
Jace's bookshelf. For Jace's and Lily's bookshelf upstairs, I'm going to use this really old wood. Talked about it in the last video. First thing we got to do is run it through the planer to try to get, some sort of similar thickness. I don't need it to be exact though. I am going to run them through my jointer here, which gives them a nice flat edge. That way the boards sit really close together. These boards, like I said, they're the oldest boards in the house. And you can see they were cut with a cross-cut saw. You can see the cuts on the back. Some of these old boards are 1 inch thick on one side and 1/4 inch thick on the other side. And that's just from over the years someone walking on the boards wore the boards down to where they're almost nothing there. It's pretty crazy. How long do you think it would take to walk on this board and wear it down to where there's no board?
8,800 times.
8,800 times. That's pretty specific. You want to dance with me?
Up before the sun every single day, he gave me a home and gave me my name. He sang Robert Earl and sweet baby James. Yeah, he built a life on Amazing Grace. I was born to break every single rule, with a reckless heart, sometimes a fool. I was held to raise, but he kept his cool. Showed me love will always follow through. I can see it all in his weathered eyes, full of strength and love and sacrifice. Oh, I've spent my days living on the run, but now I know it, I'm my father's son. Got a steady job, he's a steady man, and over 30 years with a wedding band. Bet a wild child wasn't in his plans, but every part of him's a part of who I am. I can see it all in his weathered eyes, full of strength and love and sacrifice. Oh, I've spent my days living on the run, but now I know it, I'm my father's son. Yeah, I know that I'm my father's son. monuments built in his name. No magazines that will spread his fame. But when a good man lives, he leaves a wake. And in 1,000 years it will still remain. I can see it all in his weathered eyes, full of strength and love and of sacrifice. Oh, I've spent my days living on the run, but now I know that I'm my father's son. Yeah, I know that I'm my father's son. No matter where I may have run, oh, I'm proud to be my father's son.
Whoever framed up this closet had no idea what he or she was doing. Almost an inch smaller on this side than on this side. And I'm thinking it's just because either they didn't know what they were doing, or there was some weird framing here that he or she could not work around, so just had to make it what it was. Man, that comes off a lot. I want this bookshelf to look square, so I might have to put it on my square line, which is really going to be way out here. I mean, that's off a lot. But again, I want it to be square here, so maybe I shouldn't trust that wall. Like, I can't run off that wall. Maybe it's making this a little more difficult than it needs to be. What's important is that it's fairly square. It's not perfect by any means. Wow, everything is so messed up on this bottom because the floor slopes so much. Hard to explain what I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing. I've got this scrap piece of wood here and I'm just using this to build my bottom up a little bit. Luckily it's perfect sized. I need the bottom to be up a little bit higher because I didn't cut my old wood the right way. That's a great way to explain it. And that's going to be the bottom of the shelf. It's incredibly square. Kind of surprising. Okay, now that I have the top and the bottom done, I can do the sides. Those should go a little bit easier, knock on wood. You want a nail right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Right there. You want to do it again?
Yeah.
Wait until I'm ready. Okay, good job.
Did you just drop me home?
Honey, I can't drop you home. I gotta finish the shelf.
Dad, why can't you go there, drop me off, and then come back?
Because I want to finish the shelf and I don't want to take the time. Just go rinse your hands off, okay? By the time you're done rinsing your hands, maybe I'll be closer to being done. But you gotta be patient. I just got a really good idea that's going to take me 10 times longer, but it's going to look cooler. I have a whole bunch of popple that's this thick, which I think is about 4 inches. What I'm going to do is use that to make my shelves. It will look like older construction. Yeah, so from underneath you'll see those boards. I'm going to wait. I'm going to take some pictures of this. I'll show Sarah, see what she thinks, and then we'll go from there. If she likes this design, then I've got 1, 2, 3 more shelves to make, and then I'll face it. That's it for now. Jace is really just wanting to go home. He can handle it for a couple hours, but not much more than that. I'll finish this tomorrow.
Darling, I know it's hard to let go. Soon I will hold you again. Longer days when I'm away, but we'll both pretend to be bold. Darling, I've never been bold. Flowers you brought, my stomach in knots. You never seem to be scared. My heart's on pause whenever you're gone. But one day we'll go anywhere. Darling, I've never been there. We will travel many miles. Will we ever see home again? Waves they tower, screams get louder. All I need is your hand in mine.
Running into a little bit of an issue here. This piece of trim, it won't sit flush to my bookshelf because the sheetrock is sticking out a little bit right here in the middle. The sheetrock wall kind of bows. You probably can't see it very good there because it's kind of white and everything. Let me show you. This piece of trim wants to go on like that. It's really good at the top. It's nice and flush. But in the middle here, no matter how hard I push this, it's not going to go over any closer, and there's a gap. I want this edge to look good. Same as this edge here. You can see there's no gap there. There's pencil marks now, but there's no gap. So I think actually the way I'm going to fix this is by getting rid of the sheetrock. I don't know the easiest way to do it without making a huge mess. Probably isn't a way to do it without making a huge mess. I took a pole with myself and I'm going to use this tool. It's going to be messy.
From afar, of me. People fight for survival. I'm chasing tails, I'm surrounded. Can't stop for a second to breathe. My thoughts are flowing like water. One day soon I will find. I know I am close. I know I will shine. Back to the jungle. Take me back to
considering how messed up the framing was. Everything's level. Plumb level. You cannot tell that this side is almost 1.25 inches shallower than this side. You really can't, unless you really look at it. Like, you really gotta look at it. And even when you do that, it's hard to tell. What's odd is the bottom shelf isn't. The bottom shelf is perfect. So it's almost like just the top of this wall comes out. And that could be why I had to mess with that sheetrock too. I think there was something going on with this beam. Yeah, this is a bookshelf made out of all salvaged lumber, except for the shelves I used poplar. And sometimes I call poplar popple, and I know it's not correct, but I think upstate New York dialect, we've always called popple trees outside popple trees. It's just what we've always called them. I think the bottom is worthy to look at. I spent a lot of extra time to give it a certain look, and I think I pulled it off. I wanted the shelf to look like it was old, and that is an old way to do things right there. Same with having vertical boards in the back instead of horizontal. Also, I found my old can of linseed oil. It was upstairs the whole time. So now I have 2. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe I should use linseed oil on the shelf upstairs. We'll see. I kind of had my heart set on shellac for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because it hardens a little bit better maybe than linseed oil. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll run some tests. I don't know. But you didn't really think I'd wait till next week to do this, would you? No. The first thing I have to do is go find my opener for the cans, because all I have is this thing here, and it's easier if you get an actual opener. Hold on a second. So we'll do the shellac, and this is just a clear shellac. Not a lot of difference there. Oh, it's darkening. It's darkening. We'll give that some time. It's not doing a lot. I love the smell of linseed oil. Okay, we're gonna let those sit. These paint can openers work so good. The shellac is gonna be the most light thing I can do to the poplar. It gave it a little bit of darkness, but not a lot. Oh, the oil's giving it some green tones, which is interesting. With the stains, I'm expecting to see a little bit more of a color change. This one's cherry. Again, it's just what I had downstairs. Weird. It is not what you'd expect. This actually is the stain that I bought to match the old hickory downstairs. That's pretty. After the samples have had some time to sit, we decided to just go with linseed oil on all of it. It's very mild. It does a good job of bringing out the grain, which is not a lot of grain that you can see with popple. Man, I love how I keep going back and forth between poplar and popple. I'm gonna seriously make some people just twitch on that. You can use your paint can opener also as a closer by just turning it. Pretty amazing invention. I think you could actually use this to possibly tighten down a flat-headed screw. It seems like it might work. I think it's always smart that before you go all Milli Vanilli on this and just start oiling and staining, just do a little bit of testing. It just gives you something to kind of go by, so then you don't have to like blame it on the rain. Nobody under the age of 30 is going to get that last one. Blame it on the rain. I gotta listen to that song now. What do you think about this? Linseed oil. Magic. The color is so close to the ceiling in the other room. I really like that. We want to tie rooms together so everything kind of meshes well. So we've got all these old wood things. Like each room has an accent wall too, and when that is oiled, that will be very similar to that ceiling and to this. I'm very pleased with it. Didn't cost me really a dime to make. A couple pieces of popple that I had from another job. I just think that it's going to be so nice and functional to have a built-in like this. Love it. I may end up having to do more coats of linseed, but for now that's going to do it for me. I'm going to head home. Just wanted to come up and do that real quick before bedtime. That's going to do it for this week's video. If you enjoyed, please remember to hit the thumbs up. And I guess I will see you next time I turn the camera on. Have a good week, everybody.
One day soon I will find, I know I am close, I know I will shine. One day soon I will fly, I know I am free, I'm feeling alive. Take me back to the jungle, take me back to the jungle.